On March 25, 2024, an 83-year-old Ohio man shot and killed a woman in his own driveway. At first glance, it looked like a straightforward homicide. But when deputies arrived, the story stopped making sense. The woman wasn't trying to rob the house. The $12,000 she had supposedly come to collect was still sitting inside. Then, while investigators were processing the crime scene, the telephone rang. The caller asked to speak with the homeowner. He had no idea anyone had been shot, because from his perspective, the crime was still in progress. That single phone call revealed something investigators couldn't see when they first arrived. The shooting in the driveway wasn't where this story began. It was where it ended. To understand why an elderly man believed he had to pull the trigger, we have to reconstruct every decision that brought two complete strangers to the same driveway. At approximately 8:30 that morning, Brock received a call from a man introducing himself as an attorney. The caller claimed to represent Brock's grandson, Matt. According to the story, Matt had been involved in a serious traffic collision while driving a semi-truck. A pregnant woman had been injured. Matt had been arrested. He was sitting in jail awaiting bond. For any grandparent, it was the kind of phone call capable of producing immediate fear. But fear alone rarely convinces people to hand over thousands of dollars. The callers understood that, which is why they didn't stop with a single story. They began constructing an entire reality around it. Another voice joined the conversation. This one identified himself as the judge handling the case. Suddenly, the story no longer came from one stranger. It appeared to be supported by the legal system itself. Case numbers were provided, names were mentioned, procedures were explained. Each additional detail served the same purpose, not to prove the story, but to make questioning it increasingly difficult. This is an important distinction. Professional fraud rarely depends on one convincing lie. It depends on dozens of believable details supporting one another until disbelief becomes more difficult than acceptance. Then came perhaps the most persuasive moment of all. The callers placed Brock's supposed grandson on the telephone. The frightened voice pleaded for help. Brock later testified that it sounded like Matt. Whether it actually was no longer mattered. At that moment, perception became more important than reality. From Brock's perspective, he wasn't speaking to an anonymous criminal. He believed he was speaking to family. That belief would influence every decision that followed. The demand soon became clear. $24,000 was needed to secure Matt's release. The money had to be paid immediately. Delay wasn't presented as an inconvenience. It was presented as a direct threat to Brock's grandson, Matt. Urgency is one of the oldest tools in deception. Time pressures people into making decisions before uncertainty has a chance to become skepticism. But even now, the reconstruction shows something important. Brock hadn't surrendered his judgment. Not yet. He began asking questions. He wanted Matt's full name. He wanted more information about the case. The answers became vague. Then the call disconnected. Instead of accepting the story without hesitation, Brock attempted something that investigators would later consider one of the most important moments in the entire timeline. He tried to verify what he had been told.
I asked for Matt's full name. I asked the judge 3 times. I did not get it. The judge hung up on me, or we lost contact. I waited for a return call for 10 or 15 minutes. I didn't get it. During this time is when I tried to call Becky Boysel, Matt's grandmother, tried to call his father, and I tried to call Matt himself, and I did not get any answer from any of them. He called back, said, "Good news. Matt's case has been reviewed, and the bond has been dropped to $12,000. I said, "Yes, I can do that." He said, "You need to be here with the bond money in 30 minutes. The judge stipulated cash in a manila envelope and put the case number on, which I did. And I left it laying in the kitchen on the table.
The bond had been reduced. $24,000 had become $12,000. For Brock, this sounded exactly like the kind of development that might occur in a real court proceeding. The story wasn't becoming less believable. It was becoming more detailed. And with every additional detail, the fictional world created by the callers began replacing reality. By this point, Brock had crossed an invisible threshold. He was no longer deciding whether the phone call was genuine. He was deciding how quickly he could help someone he believed was in immediate danger. Because once a person begins making decisions inside a false reality, every logical choice they make can carry them further away from the truth. At this point in the reconstruction, something important has changed. The callers no longer need to convince William Brock that the story is true. They only need to keep the story moving. Once someone accepts a false reality, every new event is interpreted inside that reality, and that makes the next stage of the deception remarkably powerful. The callers informed Brock that he no longer needed to travel to the courthouse. Someone had already been sent to collect the money. According to the caller, a woman driving a black Honda was on her way to his house. On its own, that statement meant very little. Anyone can claim a car is coming. What mattered was what happened next. Brock looked through his window. A black Honda was sitting in his driveway. To an outside observer, there is nothing remarkable about that image. A car arrives. A woman waits. Nothing appears unusual. But in this reconstruction, we are going to separate what actually existed from what each participant believed existed. To William Brock, that vehicle wasn't simply transportation. It was confirmation. Everything he had heard over the previous several hours suddenly appeared to exist in the real world. The attorney, the judge, the injured grandson, the court case, the bond, the courier. One ordinary automobile had become physical evidence that the entire story was real. At exactly the same moment, another reality was unfolding inside that same vehicle. Lalitha Hall wasn't arriving at the home of a frightened grandfather. She wasn't participating in what she believed was a dangerous criminal conspiracy. From everything presented during the trial, she appears to have believed she was completing an ordinary pickup. That distinction is critical, because the two people now separated by nothing more than a front door weren't responding to the same situation. They were responding to two entirely different versions of reality. The callers, however, understood both. Unlike Brock, unlike Hall. Here is what happened next on this carefully planned deception. Listen to this testimony in court.
Joe informed me that she's in my driveway now. And that was a real shock to me. I looked out, and there sat a black Honda. Sat there running with its lights on. And I come back to Joe, and he told me to get the damn door open. He was starting to lose his patience with me by now. Get the damn door open, that tree out of the way, put the money where she can get it. I told her I'm trying, but I've fallen.
When Brock fell down, the scammers gave no consideration. Listen to this.
And that was just to try to give me a second or two to collect what's going on. And he said, I don't give a goddamn. You get the door open where she can come in.
It's at this point that Brock realized he was being deceived. He went and fetched his gun, and when he got out of the house to meet the driver, the following video recorded over the dashcam shows exactly what transpired.
Stop. Stop. Or I'll call 911. Stop.
No, you're not leaving.
Hi.
No, you're not. You're not leaving in my house.
Stop.
Give me that phone.
Stop.
Give me it.
Stop.
Give me it.
Help! Help! Help!
Give me that phone.
Help!
I'll shoot the other way.
Help!
Come on, get out.
Help! Stop!
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick up a cat.
Yes. I know what you're after. You're after the
Help! Help!
I'll shoot you in the head.
Don't do that, please, don't. Don't, sir. Please
Who do
don't.
you work for?
Over. It's right up there. You can see it. You can see it. You can look, sir. Please. Just look.
Or home property.
Right here.
Come here. You all right? Stay about 1 second. Are you the shooter? Yes. Okay. I'm gonna pat you down, okay?
Yeah.
I'm just going to hang on to that. Yeah, I'm going to hang on to that too. I'm gonna have you sit in my car, okay? What's your first name, sir?
Bill.
Bill.
William.
William? Okay. Hey, I'm going to pat you down real good, so can you step out here real quick and I'll just pat you down again?
Okay.
They got a squad coming for you, okay?
I figured that.
Well, I mean, you're bleeding pretty good here from your ear, okay?
Yeah.
So just hang tight, all right? You're not under arrest, okay? You're just being detained in the car for now, okay? And like I said, there's a squad coming to check you, okay?
Yeah.
So just give us a few.
I'm sure glad to see you guys out here because I've been on this phone for a couple hours with this guy trying to save me. Had a nephew in jail. Had a wreck in Charleston and just kept hanging on and needing bond money, and this woman was supposed to.
Scan him.
Yeah, figured it.
All right,
I kept getting different names and different stories
Yeah.
out of him.
So we're gonna have you. Are you injured anywhere?
Just a little nick on the side there where she slammed the car door on me.
Okay. So have a seat right there. We're gonna get this window down for you. If you need something, you yell. Okay. If you start getting lightheaded or anything.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. I'm just gonna crack this window a little bit.
Did they get the stabilized a little bit?
She's in the ambulance, so they'll get her care flight and get her situated.
You just walked out here and just started pumping around?
No, he said it was a scam. Somebody called and told him that his nephew was in jail and he didn't bring $12,000 downtown. The next thing you know, he tells him that he's got the $12,000. She shows up here and tries to take his $12,000, so he shot her. He said to slam the door on his head.
She slammed the door in his head?
Yeah, that's what it's on the side of his head.
Oh?
Yeah.
Oh?
Yeah.
We didn't go inside your home.
Well, there's $12,000 in an envelope in there that I was supposed to take to Springfield. And she was sent out to Springfield this week.
Okay.
And I'm supposed to take it to this black vehicle in front of the courthouse. This way.
In the end, the jury found William Brock guilty, sentencing the 83-year-old to 21 years to life in prison.